I'm gonna get filthy. Right, I just start it and then after 2 seconds shut it off. Huh, I didn't even get covered in oil. Well, g'day guys. Something is happening that hasn't happened for it probably, in all honesty, it's probably 4 years, maybe at least 3 years, and that is the grasshopper, which I'm currently driving, is about to be back at the main farm. So I couldn't bring it back the other day. I just, logistically it wouldn't work. So finally bringing it back now to do quite a bit of work on it. Before we bought the development block, we had another block that was still 25 k's away, and that's where this lived there for a few years at least. So yeah, it sort of went straight from that property to the development property, and yeah, so it hasn't been back here. So anyway, a bit of interesting trivia. The other, I guess you call it a scary thing, is this isn't the greatest thing to be driving down the road. It is quite, I'm not quite sure the word to use. Scary is one, hairy is another one, adrenaline inducing. Yeah, there's quite a few words, because there's not a lot between me and the road, and I got the seatbelt on, so the seatbelt works, and I've got it on. But when you're cruising down at 50 k's, if something were to happen, yeah, there's no bonnet or nothing to protect you, so you just got to have your wits about you. But anyway, we're going to get this up there, we're going to tidy it all up, we're going to pull the tank off, we're going to weld up all the cracks in the chassis, which is another reason why it's a bit scary driving down the road. So anyway, we're nearly there, and we might sink our teeth into this tomorrow, but it's nearly the end of the day, so we'll go from there. Good morning guys. There's been a significant change of plans. We are here at the development block, and we do have an electrician coming to wire up the 3-phase compressor that we've had sitting here for a while. It's going to be a bit of a slow process getting this workshop all set up here, but this is the compressor, and we're just wanting to move it over here and against this shed, and that way it's just going to keep it away from the main shed there. That'll eventually be the workshop, and yeah, just so it's not rattling around and being noisy while we're trying to work in the shed. So yeah, that's the plan. So we're just going to shift that so we can get the JX with the bucket on there, just to try and dig this out and smooth this out, so it can sit here without without much trouble. That's the plan. And then the main reason we're here is the New Holland tractor, which is on the rock picker, has sprung a catastrophic hydraulic leak. So that's the story at the minute. So the house's gone on the back burner for a little bit. Well, I think we got that pretty well how we want it, or how Phil wants it. He's the one that gave me the orders. But anyway, for now, all we need is have it there so it can get wired up. And the plan is that we'll run a bit of heavy-duty metric poly pipe from here underground over to there, and that should, I think that stuff's like rated for 150 psi or something. So that will well and truly be more than what we want this thing to make. So yeah, that'll be good. It'd be nicer just to have it a bit further away from where you work, and it's one of those small things that is just annoying, is just having an air compressor rattling away in the shed, because in the sheds they're very tinny and obviously echoes and all of that. So that's the plan, at least. Anyway, we're off to the New Holland to see what damage we find there. We're here at the New Holland. Now it pours out oil very quickly, so I'm going to try and dive in the back here. Josiah's going to listen for my screams as to when to turn it off. And I thought, if I do get covered in oil, I better get it on camera, because yeah, I don't think it's going to be pleasant. But I've got to somehow bury myself in there, because I don't really want to take the tyre off, but if we have to, we have to. But I just want to see if we can work out exactly where it is coming from. I'm going to get filthy. Right, I just start it, and then after 2 seconds shut it off. Huh, I didn't even get covered in oil. But yeah, I think if I just can extend my neck about 10 inches, I reckon I'll see what's going on there.
That's the problem, mate.
Oh. Ow. Ow. Oh dear. Okay, just go again for 1 second. Like as soon as it starts, just pretty well shut it off. I need your small hands.
My small hands?
Yeah, I think that's coming from the filter.
Well,
so either the filter housing's cracked and split,
yeah,
or the O-ring's gone, or the filter itself is gone, which is, I've never seen that one before. But I did, don't tell Brad, but I did buy a mirror from the Snap-on van yesterday, just for this. That's what I'll say.
just for this.
Where's this filter? Oh, there it is. Righto. Okay, I only successfully put oil all over the mirror. Go again. Yeah, that's the filter. Well, I've got a suspicion. I know what the problem is. Josiah's under there pulling the filter off. But he did say yesterday when they were looking for the oil leak that the filter was just a little bit loose. Now, I reckon what might have happened is the filter's just been a little loose, and then the pressure's popped out the O-ring. So it's either broken or like just popped out of the little holder there. And then obviously doing it back up, it hasn't been lined up properly and it's still leaking. So that's my prediction. We'll find out very shortly, hopefully, whether that is true. I don't even know if we've got a spare filter for it here. If we do, then we'd probably be able to get it up and running if that is the problem. If not, we may have to fly to town and, yeah, go that way. But anyway, it's not as bad as I thought it could be, so that is good.
Yeah, that's off.
Yep. Pass it here. Haha! I was correct. There we go. There we go. Right. Well, we better go find out if we got a filter. Yeah, you're not too dirty, Josiah.
Oh, not too bad.
Not too bad. Apparently last night he was pretty bad.
I was caked in it.
Righto, well that's an answer there. That is a very cheap fix, so that is great. Josiah's going to fly in, grab the filter. I'm going to head back up to the main farm and probably continue working on the housem and see how far we get there. We're back up here at the main farm with the grasshopper here, and Brad. So
I'm not the grasshopper.
the
stature is not conducive.
this sprayer
How long have you bought this and when you did a spray contracting business?
This is my first rig I bought.
Well, when was that? That would be in 2007?
14 years ago.
14 years ago.
Yeah, year after I got married.
Yeah, well, there you go. So that's 2009 or something like that.
Yeah, so this is the original one, so I've just got to give her a bit of love.
So how many hours are on it?
I don't know. Yeah, I made it stop working.
One of many things to stop working.
It just gets an oil change every year.
Well, part one is done. The tank's off, so we can really get in there and have a good look at what we need to fix. We've already found a few more cracks, so that is good. Step two is going to be this vat and probably the tool, but we might reuse the toolbox, but it's all rusted out on the bottom, so we're going to need to work on it before we use that. But we're going to get rid of all these hoses, little extra hoses and valves at the back that we don't use and haven't used for the last, I don't know, 10 years, so it's never really, it's not really going to work anyway, just everything's old, but it'll clear that all up and make it so we can see what we're doing, and yeah, we just uncomplicate it. So we're going to recommission the freshwater flush tank here, so we're going to replumb all of that so we can actually use that if we need to. So anyway, stage two has commenced. So I've pulled off that stuff. I don't want to call it junk, but we don't need it. There's one over there that's been pulled off too. Yeah, Brad, I said I'm not calling it junk. I don't want to call it junk yet. You missed that bit. Brad got a little defensive when I called it junk. So yeah, we just still got to pull a couple of these hoses off. Then we're going to get into washing. So we've got to give it a really, really good hot wash. So that'll be good. Brad's just hot washed the tank, so he's going to start fixing some of the cracks in that. Well, if I sound a little bit puffed, that's because I am. We've got the grasshopper over there getting washed. Johnny's onto that. And I just pulled the seat out, which is very, very heavy. So basically I think the airbags mounts have collapsed, which means there's no more spring in it. It's pretty solid, so I've got to pull that all apart and work out what's going on there. I think Brad is, where is he? He's over here. He's making some noise, fixing up the tank. Right, so we've been able to get the airbag out. So yeah, part of the problem is this little bag here goes into those, and that kept sliding out. I think originally it broke out here and it was just quickly welded up because it was hard to pull the whole seat apart in there. But yeah, it's slipped out again, so what we're going to have to do is try and spread this apart and then maybe drill some holes in these and put some clips in there so it can't come off again. But yeah, what was happening basically was this, because this had come out of that, this plate here was just riding hard up against the bottom of the seat, so it lost all of its travel, and it wouldn't, to get any cushion out of it, you had to have the seat really low, which wasn't very comfortable. So yeah, I think it shouldn't be too bad to fix, but we'll yeah, might have to build up this bit here with a bit of weld or something. I ended up just pulling the rest of it apart, and yeah, what I ended up doing was this worn out bit here. Instead of trying to weld that and grind it back right, I just ended up grinding that off, knocking it out, and I've got a 12mm bolt here that I can just cut off there or wherever we need it to. So I just got to weld that in, and then yeah, then that should work all right. Although I probably should do that last, Brad. If we're going to put that bracket you're working on in, probably should put that in and then put this through last and then weld it up. That way it can't come out. So maybe I'll just hold off on that. But Brad's gonna work something here.
Put bushes in.
You're gonna make up some bushes, are you?
Yeah.
So yeah, anyway, it's progressing along. I think we're coming up with a plan. So yeah, it is difficult to get footage of the whole thing because then a GoPro is running for 8 hours a day. So I just got to try and get the best bits. Glasses, Brad. Yep. Okay. Action. Oh, the flipping air compressor. How long you got? All right, hang on. Just hold it. Hold it. Well, Brad's found a good excuse to use the mill. Seems a little overkill, doesn't it? No. No? So anyway, he's just boring that out. Or what's the technical term, Brad?
Machining it out.
Machining it out, yep, righto. She won't know itself.
Give her a bit of love for these large people that sit on seats and break them. Did you show them the Steiger?
Hey. Oh, I think
Seat?
that was probably in the last video.
Right.
I didn't, yeah, no, I did show it, I think.
Got a few chubby bunnies.
And are you including yourself there, Brad?
Possibly. Possible.
Now, how'd the leaks go here, Bradley?
Yeah, we'll make sure I've got them all.
So, yeah, there's a few cracks there.
It's mongrel stainless because it work hardens when you heat it. Here's old Matt in the Screaming Demon here. We're sort of turning it into a sprayer rat rod really. At the moment she's all bare. I think the seat's out. Yeah, the seat's out. That's what we're working on, eh? Oh, even got the light working up there. Don't knock me old girl around. I just thought I'd update you here. We're just trying to, I'll show you. Got this little doovy dad that goes on the seat and it's completely knackered. So I've and then that bit goes up like that, so you've got like a gap. So I've just got this round bit of nylon bushing and I'm going to attempt to make that, so I can, maybe if I put you here you might be able to see what's going on, maybe a bit closer.
You up and down, Brad?
No, I'll see if I can't get the GoPro munched up in the mill.
You're on time lapse. No.
Wouldn't surprise me. So we're just gnawing down. I've marked out the with a texter where I've got to go down to, which is about level with the top of this press. Being nylon, it's good. I can up it fairly hard here. Just got my little line here. I do have a face fly cutter there, but this will be a bit more universal. So I've got that about to the height. Let's move across here now. Start chopping this down. If all goes bad, it won't make it on air. good if I had a CNC cutter here now. I think we might need a few more good years before we do that. Oh, yeah, so that's what happens. The bit I'm a bit, I'll just swap hands. Got to go on like that. The little pin there, it sits on there, and then this arm, it's got a clip over that arm there. I've put a little slot in there, but if I might just stick you there, because it all might be for nothing if this snaps. So I was able to stretch it and it didn't crack, so it's a bit dirty, just got some dirty hands, but just had to grind in here a bit, beat that out so it fits on this bit. So yeah, I'm ready to put it on and we'll try.
Well guys, I actually had to duck off and leave Brad to fitting the seat by himself, and yeah, he didn't have GoPros, so there's no footage of it going in, but it did go in and it all actually worked as it should. So that is the conclusion to that. Well, it's warming up today. What's the thermometer say? Reads a bit high, so that's saying it's 40, but it's probably like 37 or something here in the shed. So we got, this will just be the final update for this video. We've got the house and yeah, that's all how it was, but been going through. We marked it with paint and we've got gussets ready to go and weld on all these things, and yeah, there's just cracks everywhere. More there. So there's that one that's been gusseted. There's crack. Yeah, cracks everywhere basically is the general consensus. You want to sign off, Brad?
Yes. Make sure you like and subscribe.
And we are on Facebook and Instagram.
And thank you for watching. We appreciate it.
Yes, and actually I will take the time. I keep forgetting, by the time I say how many subscribers we got, which is amazing, say thank you, it's jumped up and nearly at the next benchmark, which is amazing. So we just hit the 40,000 subscriber mark, which is more than any of us expected, particularly Brad. I think he doubted.
I thought Matt might get 1,000 if he's lucky.
40,000 subscribers is way more than I ever thought possible. Thank you to all of you guys for watching. It's just great seeing people that have an interest in what we're doing. And yeah, thanks again. We'll catch you in the next one. Right. I don't want to get this all dirty, but... Oh, you're joking. Do you know where I left the torch? Was it in my ute or...